Hey there, gang. Today I'm here with something that's a little bit different. So, after struggling in some of my matches playing without Zanshin tactics, I kind of got a little bit frustrated and I said, you know what, we're putting Zanshin tactics back on. And so, in addition to changing out machine learning for Zanshin tactics, I figured, I also don't really want discordance. I'll take something else in place of that. And since the rest of our build was very heavy on chase, I kind of figured why not play a little bit into that and take a little bit of risk. So I opted to take Blood Favor. One of the big reasons, too, I also wanted to take Blood Favor is that because I am taking the Ormond map offering, I'm intending to get Ormond more so than the Deep Mines because that is my purpose for bringing the offering itself, right? So if I'm going to be going to a more palette-dense map that is stronger in horizontal size, that's all the more reason to be running Blood Favor. That gives us a whole lot of value. Further, we've also got Spirit of Hartshorn. Hartshorn is amazing, I've been finding. I wouldn't so much put it in A tier, but it's been genuinely getting me these hits that I otherwise would not have been able to get with a different add-on. And this is because when you increase the size of your Yellow Battle Cloud, this means that you have more of a hitbox both for your own self and the cloud to kind of interlap between one another. And that's how you're going to get that speed boost. And so what y'all are going to see as well is a whole lot of that. We're doing these very short tosses. We're going to be picking up our yellow cloud right on the edge of when it activates. And this means essentially we are moving on average faster earlier and overall throughout our chases. It's why I've been finding this very good. It's also similarly why I would chose to take Garish Makeup Kit. Not only was I purposefully wanting to take another add-on that was not cigar box, but I figured if I'm going to be playing into the synergy of both the build and Spirit of Hartshorn, the best add-on choice for that would be Garish Makeup Kit. That extra 2 seconds following the 1 second that you get from the base kit changes about 9 or so months ago has been amazing. And all of this together, it goes in again with what I said with the build, very focused much so on chase. We have genetic limits, and this is something that I want to say is a big focus of this match today. While you're not going to see too many survivors overall that are going to have you could say an interaction with this perk, there is one survivor in particular, and this perk really changed up how they had to play and chase. And I really like this perk for that reason. To go into specifics of what genetic limits does and so good for Clown. Clown is a killer with low map mobility. He is a killer with a high emphasis on chase. This means that when you commit to a chase, you're going to be wanting to make sure that the time you spend in chase is not wasted. If you commit to a chase with a survivor that you expect to only be for 2 health states and then they dead hard to make it 3 health states, you can literally lose the game off of that. And that is actually something I haven't talked about in this match itself, because there was a time where genetic limits didn't come into play, but I won't say so much on that with regard to spoilers. But yes, genetic limits means it gives you this assurance, basically. And that is what is so good for a killer like Clown, who, when he makes a decision due to his poor macro, has to commit to it. Assurance is very, very, very valuable. You can chase a survivor, get that first health state, know they don't have any exhaustion perk for follow-up, and everything else is going to play routine. It's going to be just like your practice, whatever tile they go to, there's not going to be any types of gimmicks. The only perk you really would have to worry about at this point would be resilience, which will affect the vault speeds, but other than that, there's nothing that in the event that you don't, say, get the hit, there's no tile chaining, there's nothing crazy or ridiculous. That's what's so good about this perk. Coup and Zanshin are pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I won't go too much time into this, but I mean, the reason why I did go back to Zanshin tactics compared to the last 2 matches on this on my channel is that chaining tiles is hard without Zanshin, gang. I'm gonna be honest. When I play DBD and I don't have Zanshin, when I have played DBD for like a couple hours in a session, I start to do a lot worse without Zanshin, and I mean a lot worse. I lose games because I don't have Zanshin tactics. Full stop. I'll be very clear about that. Even though I have Coup, whatever else, I will lose games because I don't have this perk. So still very, very important, even if you don't see me running it. Typically, those matches are not many hours into a session when I am playing the game. And lastly, Blood Favor. Some people are wondering, why would you take a Hex perk by itself? The reason for Blood Favor being ran by itself is because of the fact that I'm already expecting to be playing with 3 perks anyways. When you play Clown, this is something that is probably common too when you really think about it. You're probably not playing with your full kit 100% of the time. There are going to be moments where you're playing probably 50% to 75% at the greatest. And the best example of this, even at a meta level, is if you run Corrupt Intervention. You know, Corrupt Intervention after the first 2 minutes of the game or your first down, that perk is gone. You are stuck to 3 perks the whole match. This is for not just Clown, but every killer. That is a meta level example, and there are probably many other examples when it comes to your builds where your perks just aren't coming in whatsoever for a good portion of that match. And that's why I opted for this Hex perk, because similarly, going to the Corrupt example, in the same way that Corrupt has that advantage in the early game, this perk, assuming survivors don't literally spawn on it, has that similar value. I've had a good number of games where, yeah, it gets cleansed after my first hook, but that's the same kind of value that you would kind of see in a way to Corrupt Intervention, and it comes quick. You know, the thing about Blood Favor, when you run this and a survivor doesn't especially get a pallet down before you get that health state, that chase is not lasting probably about another 10 seconds. You know, especially if you're still invigorated and you have that extra 2 seconds for the recovery, they're very likely going down when you pink for the follow-up. So that is where this has been very, very good. And what happens if survivors don't cleanse Blood Favor early? Well, now you're seeing value from a perk like this that will go beyond probably any other Gen Regression perk. Because literally when you are playing Clown and you have Blood Favor and you get these tags, pre-drop or not, there's going to be nowhere they can go afterward, very likely, depending on it for a good number of maps, where they can now throw down the next pallet. You're going to literally be able to W-key them. If you have any bottles, you springboard, play off of your momentum, and then that's GG's, especially with Coup and Zanshin. You're going to know what's in front of you from Zanshin. You're going to be able to hit everything because of Coup. So that is kind of what this build was about. We played into that. So I think that just about wraps up everything. I wanted to be a bit more comprehensive with this because I am kind of looking to update the guide soon when it comes to genetic limits and a bunch of other things. So yeah, other than that, I hope you all enjoy the match. Shit. Alright, there we go. Alright, I think we're good. Understand? Hold on, I can't. Oh shit, I forgot to change add-ons. That's fine. Dramaturgy or sprint burst. Ooh, oh man, isn't that a shame? Remember Hartshorn. Oh man, the flicks are on the point! Shit, let me pick your ass up. You know, that is not a hex placement that I am fond of. Refresh is amazing. That's Hartshorn, by the way, because I'm almost certain the cloud would have expired. I'm actually not tunneling, more so I'm pushing the Zarina into her teammates. Interesting. I was hoping to find someone else over here. I was trying to interrupt 3 survivors simultaneously and then chase a different survivor, because we're not really trying to eat tunnel, keep in mind. I'm not actually trying to eat any tunnel this early yet. I'm just trying to be smart with my... Remember, we do have Hartshorn. Oh my gosh, that is what's so amazing about that shit. Sadly, I fucked up my pink, otherwise we would have actually... She's actually, damn. She's actually really good. That was a really smart play. You gotta go through some pinks, I hate to break it to you. Wait. Damn, she got the dramaturgy. About to say, insta-down. I didn't remember hitting her. That works out. I'm actually not gonna... we should kick this. If that gen goes, it goes. Me kicking it once, rotating here is not gonna change anything. I do need to kick this. Oh damn, they 2-manned main. Okay, well that's fucking wild. This is still regressing. Okay. I kind of see where my 3-gen is, but I'm gonna keep it a stack on a buck. Playing into a 3-gen as Clown doesn't really work anymore with the gen times and the hook times. Well, that's a fucking shame. Oh, you actually do drop that pallet, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't think you would. I'm more trying to springboard with this. Remember, we do have 2 stacks of Coup. I want to set the pink up behind them. Did we hook her? I can't remember. Holy shit, there are 2 clods. Okay. Hartshorn doing work, man. Hartshorn is just actually doing work. There's not a whole lot I can do though with this map. Besides Zarina, I need to find someone I've already hooked once. We've hooked both Claudes and Zarina, I believe, one time. This is the rougher part about the situation I'm in right now. I just need to get that out the way because that's gonna fucking make things really annoying for me. Kick this door because of the pallet. Hartshorn means that I don't actually have to walk into that. Isn't that nice? Remember, I have 2 stacks of Coup. Damn, isn't that a shame? Nice exhaustion though, by the way. These are good players, I can already tell you that. I know we're still at 4 gens, but I can tell based on their chase patterns. So that's the thing, it's that shit I talk about, the key reading. Figured that gen would pop. I still have my 3 gen, but I think that gen's gone soon. I might just tunnel out Claude here. I don't know. If I don't tunnel out Claude, I need to get other Claude and or Zarina. Oh, they have a whole 3-span squad. I do have genetic limits, so no dead hard. 2 med kits, so no beamers. Let's go this way. Probably shouldn't be hooking here, but I actually didn't see any hooks, believe it or not. That's fine. We'll just get this hook right over there. It's a bit out the way, but I'm not really actually intending to tunnel her. I'm more interested in one of these claws. I can't remember which one it was, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's her. The really shitty part about the situation, you know what? I want to springboard off this. Damn, they picked her up. Amazing. Perfect. Oh my gosh, wrong Claude, shit. Remember, she's on death hook. Or what are these hook placements? Fuck. I'll carry this way. Carry this way. I don't want basement. Healing first. Okay, I think I know where most people are. Sweet. Got OTR. Good to know. I just need to get attacked. Works for me. He's pushing back and shit. Bro, what the fuck? I needed more Coup stacks, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually kind of glad you did that. You would have dead hard. Holy shit, dude. Oh, fucking hilarious, man. I'm not even surprised, dude. Such a joke of a perk, man. Get absolutely outplayed to the tile, but it doesn't fucking matter, man. Whatever. Such a joke of a fucking perk, dude. Damn. You know what's crazy is I would win the game. I would probably may lose the game because of that. I either lose the game or tie because of a single the single perk that gives him an extra hook save. She's gonna drop the pallet. It's such a joke of a fucking game, dude. That's a shame, man. Fuck you. You would have dead hard and play like this, dude. How do you like Blood Vigor so far? It's amazing on this map. Yeah, you're supposed to stay Shaq. She should have stayed Shaq even with that. She could have literally like played that a hell of a lot. That's good. They fail a skill check. Holy shit. Ain't no way they just fail a skill check. That's actually gotta be really... Do you think adrenaline? Probably. Amazing. Object or no? Oh, right, Zanshin. I think we get this. She don't have time to think. I think. I'm spamming that shit. Please, thank you. Let's go. God damn, dude. What a fucking game. I don't think we hooked Cheryl at all, either. Fantastic. Close-ass game. Bro, we literally almost lost because of a single use of Dead Hard. Y'all see that shit? We literally almost lost that game. Actually, so wild. And I will... Go ahead, go ahead. They did play well. They came really close. Go on, go on. I'll let her go. I'll let her go. That was a good game. Oh man, did you see? You're right, it is Christmas. Yeah, I feel definitely better about it in that case. I mean, we are Santa Clown. That's a really good game. Oh, they're so sweet. Damn, BNP. Hot damn, look at these builds. See, this is the motherfucker with the... Whoa, Dramaturgy and Dead Hard. That's actually... I'll at least say that's interesting. This is an interesting looping build. I'll at least give him that. Definitely not a looping build I have seen anyone run before. Especially no... So, although our blood favor got cleansed rather early, we still got the pressure I was looking for out of it at the bare minimum. We got at least one hook, which is comparatively for a lot of other perks that are meant to give you an early game advantage at most. That's about on par from what you would expect. Again, using Corrupt Intervention as an example, that perk is gone on first down, so getting a hook out of blood favor, and we basically actually had gotten two by the time it was cleansed when you really think about it. That's pretty good. So, difference obvious being that with Corrupt Intervention, they're not working on the generators, but when you compare to how much quicker our first down came as a result of blood favor, that's where I think really should be the emphasis should be provided. So I was happy with what we kind of saw there. If you're kind of looking at more a consistent baseline level, obviously as the killer running blood favor, it would sure be lovely if it lasted for 2 to 3 gens, right? But the point that I'm trying to make when it comes to assuaging value from blood favor by itself, as long as it's not instantly getting cleansed, you're probably going to see some type of good return from it. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's basically what we received here, because even though we didn't have any gen perks, we essentially had two hooks spread between two different survivors very early. I don't think they had much, if any, progress. I think they had to two-man the main generator at the main building in order to get that done, which is very smart, by the way. That was the very good call on their part. But from there, even though we didn't have blood favor, what we had instead still was genetic limits, Zanshin tactics, and coup de grace. And again, they did two-man that main building, so we were now going from this point throughout the match with those two stacks. And that helps out so much, especially when you're getting that healthy to injury on survivors without using any coup stacks. Because then these coup stacks, those limited two, become lethality stacks in a sense. You're using these to really finish and down a survivor so much quicker than what you otherwise would be able to. And this goes in turn further because of genetic limits. If you are getting these injuries on survivors and you are then able to catch up to them because they are still exhausted and Coup gives you that opportunity, well, you don't have to worry about dead hard. You don't have to worry about 50-50s with lives. There are so many different ways that this helps you out, especially such as on Ormond's main building balanced landing. We don't see any survivors with balanced landing this match, but that could have been a possibility, right? And that is something where if we got that preemptive injury, up at the second floor, they wouldn't be able to use balance landing to chain tiles. So I'll bring that into account too, right? So that's just something to really take into account. That's how we were getting so much pressure. And when it comes to really tying that pressure together, because in essence, all coup de grace and genetic limits really are lethality, we were able to play off the lethality perfectly due to the information provided from Zanshin tactics. See, Zanshin tactics is very, very good. I know there are times where I upload highlights where I don't have Zanshin, but that doesn't mean it's not a good perk anymore. It's just, again, y'all, remember, I've only got 4 perks to work with, and if I want to have any types of flexibility or playing around, something's got to give. The analogy I give is it's like making a sandwich, right? You only got so many ingredients to put together, and one of your ingredients is the fucking bread, right? So it's kind of one of those things where just because I'm not using something doesn't mean it's bad. It still could be very good, and hence why I brought Zanshin back into this match compared to before, because like I said at the beginning of the video, some of my matches without it started to get frustrating. That is really kind of what we saw here, is that even though we're again going, let's kind of get back on point. We're running no gen perks. Blood favor got cleansed. I'm playing into 3 perks, like I initially talked about, is something you should be conditioned to as clown to begin with. And these 3 perks, specifically being lethality, meant that using my information and expertise on clown, I could down survivors and play around the fact that I don't have to worry about their exhaustion perks. See, coup de grace and genetic limits, because of how they work together and clown having low macro capability, I don't have to worry about losing the game because of dead hard. And this point that I talked about both before and now literally demonstrated itself in the game, as you saw, because Claude had dead hard. She used dead hard when I literally outplayed her perfectly at a double pallet tile setup. And as a result of that, she was able to get to Killer Shack. I knew that I couldn't just commit to that without possibly losing the last generator, and I literally almost lost the whole game despite all of the pressure created at every other point in the game. The 3-man slugs, the hooks, the playing without any gen perks, every bit of that almost was completely to the wayside because of a single use of Dead Hard. So she was able to get that off because I couldn't commit to the chase. Remember when she went down near the pallet? Because they were able to pick her up and she chose to stay injured. That's how she was able to use it to play around my Coup and get the value she needed to almost win the game for her team outright. So that's really something I also want to point out. If they didn't literally miss those skill checks, if Claude didn't run into me, they may not have had adrenaline, but we probably would have seen 2K at best, because by the time that I downed them and would have had time to cross the map, they would have had an exit gate possibly open. So just really take all of that into account. But other than that, I think that just about wraps everything up. We've covered just about everything from the chases. The chases were obviously necessary, being as fast as they were, in order for us to win this game. They had 2 toolboxes with a brand new part on this arena. Good thing we killed her first, am I right? She may or may not have probably gotten value out of that, though. We didn't exactly hard tunnel her out of the game. Lastly, I do want to point out that with the Claude's build, she had Dramaturgy and Dead Hard and Finesse. And this is a very, very good and interesting loop combo because this gives her so much versatility with how she plays her chases, especially against genetic limits. You see, with Dramaturgy, not only can she use that first chase, but she can use that, as you saw, before she even gets hit to begin with, which means that she is getting the value of the perk before genetic limits comes into play. And lastly, what we saw later on was that because she was able to stay injured, she chose to stay injured so that she could get value out of her Dead Hard and force me to use my Q stacks. Because one of the problems when you have Dead Hard and you play against someone who has genetic limits is that if they hard commit to that chase and they are strong enough as a killer with the power in chase to keep you from removing that exhaustion, you are probably playing worse than if you played into your Dead Hard and stayed injured, because staying injured from the beginning, especially if you have resilience, means you're going to have stronger vaults for that first health state. But it also means that when you do get that tag, that you are probably getting it at a greater cost to the killer if they really, really do extend and take the gamble on that hit, presuming that you don't have Dead Hard. Because that's the whole point of why Genetic Limits is so good. Genetic Limits gives you assurance, if you're able to play into that timer, that there is nothing Dead Hard or anything to protect a survivor. I think that just about wraps everything up. I've just about gone, I think, everywhere full circle, probably once if not twice. So if you're interested in learning how to play Clown better, I have a very detailed Clown guide that I'll be sure to link in the description. And lastly, I stream live on Twitch semi-often during the weekdays. Still figuring out the schedule. Probably will have more in the next upcoming weeks, but I'll have a link to my stream in the description as well. Stay tuned for my add-on tier list. That is also in the final steps of production. But other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Later, gang.